What's good? What's good? I believe when the dust of this plague settles, we will learn two very valuable lessons. One, the government is not your ally. And two, the easiest thing you can do to prevent illness is to not be overweight or obese. So when people make claims that health insurance or health care is a human right, I question, where do these rights get granted from? So if we can't trust our government and they're already proving to be inefficient, corrupt, not looking out for your best interests, what other authority divines us these rights? And if these rights require theft in the form of taxation, what about the human right to make a living? So, if one human right requires the violation of another human right, how do we reconcile that? And I say that not being entirely opposed to creating some form of a healthcare system that benefits everyone, but understanding that the government is not the solution and that people have lost a sense of personal responsibility. So when we talk about human rights, we also need to talk about human responsibility. If 70 to 75% of Americans are overweight or obese, and we're operating on a corrupt, inefficient system, it's not hard to see why healthcare is expensive and why people are being screwed. So, as we seek to build the new earth, we need to have a human rights and human responsibility conversation around health and wellness. Why has our government done almost nothing to help people live healthier? They don't care about your health. All the government and ruling class cares about is the ability to extract your value, money, status, and power. It has been proven time and time again that governments do not look out for the best interests of the people, but rather the best interests of those in power. So, how do we build a system of volunteerism that accomplishes a community objective? So, how do we persuade people to buy into supporting a program for the larger population? And I ask because I do believe this is an important conversation to have. If people are already living paycheck to paycheck and are not living great lives, and then you tell them you need to tax them more to pay for other people who are living unhealthy lives, of course you're going to experience resistance. The whole point of the ruling class and government's effort is to divide the people. And this is just another example. So they don't advocate for people to take responsibility of their lives while simultaneously not giving people the resources and information to take care of themselves. And then they pit people against each other just so we continue fighting over these stupid issues while they continue to exploit us and screw us and consolidate their power. Neo feudalism, feudalism 2.0, whatever you want to call it, cronyistic corporatocracy, cronyistic technocracy. We can't have a conversation around human rights without having a conversation around human responsibilities. And we can't have a conversation around human rights until we can have a conversation around governmental corruption and them being the source of the loss of most of your rights. If there was no government, where would human rights come from? Okay, so we have a government. Why have we lost so many human rights? So, gay marriage, it's like, look into this. Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton were all against gay marriage earlier on in their career until it became politically advantageous. That is a human right that was taken from you by the government. Well, and kind of the church too, but they're just this interconnected institutions of power and oppression. Sovereignty of your mind, body, and soul does not require any government. The introduction of government is when you begin to lose your sovereignty. So, how do we move forward with an unhealthy population trying to use an inefficient and corrupt system, all while people are living paycheck to paycheck and growing increasingly unhealthy and angry and divided? How can we move forward? So, this is the culture wars, again, dividing us. Healthcare is an important conversation. Self responsibility is an important conversation. I always say this: empowered and informed individuals will make the right decision most of the time. Do you think our government is empowering and informing the population? Get back to me on that. Thank you very much for listening. Much love.